What's up, guys? And you are listening to the WaffleO Podcast. Today we have a pretty solid cast today, and we have a super duper late start. Yesterday was Alice's birthday. Him and I didn't come back until like 1:30. So today we got Mike.
He's blaming me. Happy birthday.
What? Oh, Sinan.
And Matt.
Today Matt is a special guest because we couldn't find a fourth person. John and Ed both went away. John's at an ethics ball, while Ed went home for the weekend.
Yeah, Ed's hanging out in Columbus with the rest of his family like Odie and normal.
I'm just now looking at like the wave feeds. I don't think it picked up anything. It's going to be super quiet.
Is it?
Oh, well, it's no big deal.
Whatever. Here, you gotta talk closer to the mic.
Mike's
your buddy. Here you go.
Stop.
Talk to your buddy.
Stop. So how's everybody doing today?
Pretty jiffy, I guess.
Pretty good, yeah.
It's cold.
Just finals, getting ready for it to be over and everything, so...
Snowed on my birthday, which was a pain in the ass.
Hey, it always snows on my birthday, so...
Oh, when's your birthday?
January 23rd.
Oh, January birthdays are the worst.
Never snows on mine, so...
So, Matt, since you're kind of like new here, why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Yeah, I just met you today. Who are you?
I am Matt. I am an environmental studies sociology double major, senior, and I don't know, I guess you could say I am a Pokemon fanboy as well as just a person of random information.
That's the kind of people we need on this podcast. Excuse for a podcast.
Yeah, usually our staples are here, and they're just not.
Our staples are in a different piece of paper, like Chicago or Columbus. We'll give you the address if you want to go yell at them.
So you want to spend like the next 10 minutes obligatorily like just shouting out like product placement, or should we just move on to the first thing?
We can spend some time shouting out, trying to see if this microphone's picking anything up. Hello, Cleveland.
Well, let's kind of talk about what happened last night.
What did happen last night?
It was a really bad snowstorm. Alistair and I were, he invited me over to his house for his birthday and stuff like that.
It was nice. We had tea and crumpets.
We had tea and crumpets. We also had Mongolian dinner, and we went to a hookah bar.
That was fun. We were originally going to go to a concert because at the Foundry was the legendary sludge group I Hate God, and opening for them was the more or less weird indie metalheads, Today's the Day. I just saw footage of them today, and I'm really sorry I didn't go, but the snow was horrible. The day before, it was beautiful. The day today, which today is the day, today is the day, is beautiful. But nope, on my birthday, when I wanted to go to a concert, nope. The weather's like, I don't want you to celebrate good times. But you know what? We had fun. We went to Big Fun in Coventry, which is an awesome little old-school toy store.
Remember that game we started last week where every time Alistair complains about something, take a shot? It still applies.
Is it about the weather, though? It's not about a person or anything.
You're still talking smack.
I'm still talking smack about the weather. Anyway, but yeah,
you guys went to Coventry then, right?
Yeah.
Did you go to Revolution Records?
No, we
And
walked
went
by
to the
it.
Exchange.
You guys would like that place.
We went to the Exchange, the Big Fun, which is an awesome place. What can they do if I talk good things about a place?
Cry softly in their sleep.
How about you high-five your computer screen?
Yeah.
There you go. There you go. Anyway, Big Fun, recommended. It's a big fun place. And then we went for Mongolian barbecue, which is also a good place. And then we went for hookah, which was good, except Mike breathed in a chunk of something.
You know, I really can't. Yeah, some sort of something came down into my throat, and it caught me off guard. I don't know what it was.
It was probably just water or something.
The hookah stuff, it was fairly clean, and I don't think it was water. I think it was like ash or something, but it was bad.
Was it bad?
All right, so let's.
We had Misty Mountain Dew or something. I forget.
No, it was like melon.
Misty Mountain Dew.
I like that song.
I like that song, too. Hey, the new Hobbit's coming out. We can talk about that. Who's excited for the CG-laden, reboot of a series that didn't need to be 3 movies?
That's a shot.
That's 2 shots right there.
Is it just about which one's this about?
This is the one where they're fighting the dragon, I think.
They fight Smaug.
Yeah, and then it's
is this the last one? Or?
Yeah, this is the last one of the prequel trilogy.
Spoilers. I'm pretty sure the Hobbit lives.
Oh man, don't spoil that.
No.
Man, oh no, not Grildo, my favorite, but that Grildo.
That Grildo.
Man, he defeats the dragon with bling.
Bling, bling.
Hey, well, that's what the dragon's trying to guard. Here's bling.
All right, so earlier this week, we all had a very significant loss from our childhoods.
I want you to crack open a 40, and I want you to pour one out for my boy.
Zabumafu is unfortunately very dead. He died at the age of 20 and a half or 22, something like that. I think it's, Monday at the age of 20.5 at the Duke Lemur Center, where he spent his entire life. The Kratt brothers are quoted as saying...
I thought you said the Kratt brothers.
No, the Kratt brothers are quoted as saying, "Oh no, he's dead."
Oh no, he's dead.
I don't think they actually said that.
They said, what the hell's a Zabumafu?
Well, no, they did say he was very social and calm, and he was young and good-looking and very gentle. Zabumafu, very fun show. For those of you who don't know, it was like kind of this little safari kind of thing.
It taught you about animals.
Yeah, and the whole premise was about like this cartoon lemur and then the real-life lemur that would just jump around.
They would always have like the food and like the little cubbies and stuff they would take out.
Yeah.
Like, that's the elephant's food and stuff. Then you would show the elephant, and I don't know. I just loved that part.
That
of it. And then
puppet-
Zabumafu would be like hopping around and stuff.
That puppet terrified me when Zabumafu would... I never understood that, because they had the little lemur who would come in, and he'd just crawl around and stuff, but then there'd be like some magical force that made him gain sentience, which never sat well with me. Matt, did you ever watch Zabumafu?
That was actually the only show I could watch as a kid. I have
Really?
a younger sister who basically took up all of my capability of watching, any show that a normal 8-year-old could watch.
'Cause my sister and I would watch like Zabumafu, Arthur, Cyber Chase, everyone's favorite, Gilbert Gottfried. But Gilbert Gottfried wasn't in Zabumafu, so let's not get off topic.
So yeah, Zabumafu, rest in peace, little lemur buddy. Kratt brothers, we feel for you.
Why do I... Kratts, not crap. I was
Kratt
going to
brothers.
call them the Scat Brothers, but that's another thing. Don't look that up, kids.
Google.com/don't look that up, kids.
Google.com/YouTube/Zabumafu right after watching the WaffleO Podcast on YouTube.com/WaffleO Podcast.
Actually, it's on my channel, Bullet 1909.
Yes, thank you.
All right, so
Now sports.
sports ball time. NFL. Miami beat the Buffalo Bills. That was a thing. It was a very boring first half. It was a somewhat entertaining second half. That's really all there is to it. It's two teams I really couldn't care less about.
And in Spork fans, my plastic cutlery beat the Buffalo Chicken.
Spork.
Yeah. All right. So what's some of the other news we have on this baffling podcast?
In happier news, outliving Zabumafu, the Hubble hits 25 years. I don't know why I kept trying to say telescope. It's not the telescope. It's just the Hubble hits 25 years.
The bubble heloscope just flew into orbit.
But yeah, it's been floating out there in space longer than
25
Zabumafu's
years.
been
Do you
alive.
know where it is right now?
Space.
So what you're saying?
Yeah.
So you're saying is
I mean, like,
It's kind of
Yeah.
like orbiting. It's kind
orbiting.
of chilling.
It continues to orbit around Earth,
Oh,
taking
alright.
pictures of faraway galaxies and
so it's not like
even close
I'm
planets.
thinking of Voyager 1 then, the one that's just out
Yeah,
there.
Voyager 1 is going forever.
thinking about Star
Whatever the
Trek
hell it
Voyager. Is
It hit the invisible space wall. Could
It's-
not load any more data.
Really?
Oh, wow. It's still up there taking pictures of Patrick Stewart's head. Transmission 1. Oh my. That's Sulu.
That's
What am I
Sulu.
doing?
Patrick
That's-
Stewart does not sound like Sulu.
Ready the Worf cannons. Worf. Worf. Where are you, Worf? And he just wanders around. And it turns out it was all a fever dream because he was the revolutionary soldier in that movie I never saw. What am I talking about? So Zabumafu went into space to visit the Hubble telescope. Is that what I'm getting?
Yes, that's exactly what happened this
All
week.
right. All right.
In
good.
music news, The Mirror posted a article saying that, Robert Plant, dude from Led Zeppelin, he tore up a check for $800 million for a reunion tour. And while that's kind of cool, fight the power, we don't need this money, a lot of people were stating, oh, he just hates Jimmy Page, and he hates the other band members, and, screw Led Zeppelin. Well, turns out, The Mirror lied. He did not rip up any kind of checks at all. It was later posted on another site that the Mirror lied. He didn't rip up the check. He was quoted as literally saying just rubbish. Just one word. Rubbish.
So you could almost say, the mirror, it lies. I forget how that song goes. I would have been, if I could remember what that song was, that would have been a great joke. That's for any powerheads out there. Speaking of Led Zeppelin and bad decisions, Robert Plant's new CD, pretty good stuff, and I'm glad he's still continuing to do solo stuff. What is Jimmy Page up to? Does anybody know?
He's playing guitar.
Still?
Still.
Oh, good for him.
When you're good at something, just do it.
Yeah.
Is he recording anything, or is he just...
I don't know that he's recording anything. I haven't heard any real news about him.
This brings up a question. Does Zeppelin really need to make a comeback?
Yes.
But here's the thing. All these bands are making comebacks, like Black Sabbath, and now even Pink Floyd's talking about making a comeback. When in the entertainment industry is it okay for something to not really die, but rest in peace? Just to go, you had a good run, you put out some phenomenal stuff, we're going to let you go with dignity.
When everyone in the band is dead.
Instead of, like, prolonging... I mean, well, they didn't do that with the Beatles, even though
if
everybody...
If they want to continue making music...
with you, Alistair. I think they should just sometimes just, like, stop.
I feel like you're right. They should just stop. If it's like you've peaked, there's no going back up for you. But if you still want to make music and you still want to make money, go for it.
But then there are some bands that come back and they're just like, we just want to make money and we want to stay relevant. And we don't want to lose our... It's kind of like Sony with Spider-Man. We don't want to lose our license with this record label or company.
Better make 2 movies in the same year.
Yeah, better make 2 movies in the same year so we don't lose the license. But that's what a lot of comeback bands feel like. And if Led Zeppelin came back and they weren't paid like $800 million or whatever, would it be a sincere, we want to come back and make music or tour because we want to, or would it just be, we need money, I want another boat, I'll do this? Because, I mean, most of them, it sounds like, are still pursuing music. They don't need this. They just want to do their own thing. And you know what? After you've had such a successful and influential band like Led Zeppelin, let them do what they want. If they want to bring back Led Zeppelin, I don't think it should be a forced thing. I think it should just be natural, because I feel the best music is what comes naturally.
I'm looking at like this external link to the Jimmy Page, or not the Robert Plant thing, and it's literally just says, Dave Grohl doesn't flip and care about Spotify, advises bands to quote unquote go play a show. I respect that.
That
Dave
doesn't
Grohl.
say flipping care. That says fudging. Except I didn't say fudge, and I'm not allowed to swear on the radio.
No, you're not.
Anyway, because children might be listening. Hi there, children.
In Matt-related news and any Pokemon fans, Omega Ruby and Alpha Sapphire is making a huge comeback. I don't know why I wanted to say it's trying to come, because it's like, it is arriving, but it just sounded bad in my mouth.
I was playing Ruby and Sapphire just the other day on the bus. Actually, when I was a little kid, when that came out on the Game Boy Advance, I found a copy of Sapphire on the bus.
Continuing Pokemon's newest trend of Mega Evolution, they've been announcing non-stop a bunch of Megas that are coming out, on top of just more and more things that they're going to have. Like the flying HM, you can now kind of free roam in the sky. They're going to be doing something weird with the, I think they're doing like, Horde Battles?
Horde Battles have been a thing since the
I know, but they're going to continue it for the Hoenn region.
Yeah, as well as they're going to have cosplay Pikachus.
Oh, you mean the children that were always dressed up like that anyway in the sprites?
Those were weird.
Yeah, those were weird. But yeah, the Pokemon fanatics are coming back.
You see, can in this day and age you call someone a Poke fanatic, or is that not politically correct?
Why were the Poke fanatics?
Are we talking about politics in the Pokemon world?
I'm talking about I have to come in to work dressed as a Pikachu. I'm a Poke fanatic. You don't judge me and my lifestyle.
If I want to dress up as a dinosaur, let me.
Nurse Joy walks in dressed as Chansey, going, Chansey, stop doing that. Just heal my Pokemon. I can't. I'm a Poke fanatic.
So realizing the success after what happened with Heart Gold, Soul Silver, and how X and Y and Black and White both kind of really did well in sales for Nintendo, they're going to continue doing some remakes and bringing some new stuff to the table. So if you like the game, you probably will like this one too.
I really hope that we can...
this podcast brought to you by Nintendo.
I really hope that...
Please sponsor us.
I really hope they come with more those Pokewalker things. I just tied that to my dog's collar and just sent him running around the yard.
First day on the podcast, Matt already gets the please sponsor us jokes.
Yeah, exactly. Matt, what do you think of the Pokemon remakes? Do you think they need to come back, or do you think they should, if they have a good thing, they should just let it die in peace? Wait a minute, is this Led Zeppelin again? What year is it? Anyway, do you think they should have remade this or just come up with a new game? Because I don't feel bad about if it's an RPG, I think they should re-release some games and just rehash it with some new material to make the experience maybe a little better, unless it's more story-focused, which, let's face it, Pokemon has never really been a story-focused
It's a good
game.
thing you asked Matt what his opinion was on this.
I asked someone's opinion after giving them my opinion, so that they can form the correct opinion.
Let Matt give his opinion.
So, I think it's a good thing that they're remaking it. It kind of brings the games back into better graphics, so you can actually see the battles as they are. It would be cool one day if if it was even more realistic looking. So if a Pokemon was attacking with Vine Whip, an actual vine would come out and whip the Pokemon, then followed almost directly by the other Pokemon's attack. But it's just, I just like the idea that they continue to up the graphics on these older games, making them more relevant and even bring them back to the forefront and be like, here's your childhood memory, relive it if you want in HD.
But
Here's kind of my thought. I'm
Do
sorry.
graphics make a good game, though? Because back then, I just used my imagination. Go ahead, Mike.
Here's my thing. I'm kind of glad that they're remaking it because, one, Ruby and Sapphire were kind of like a huge drop-the-ball kind of deal. They did not sell well at first until Emerald really came out.
True.
So, considering that's like their third game in, like they're trying their best to keep things fresh and going on, and it's just not doing too well. And now it's like, okay, it did well in its kind of re-release, and then it kind of picked back up after that. I think they're kind of smart to try and re-release it as something new and something fun, because you're getting the same game, but you're getting things that would have made the game better. So, it looks better, it feels better, it flows better. It's for a new system that'll make it look better altogether, that everyone already apparently has. So, I'm for it.
And like for you, Alistair, you said like does good graphics make a good game?
I said, do they make a good game?
Well,
'Cause
yeah.
there are great games that have terrible graphics.
Yeah, and there's some really bad games that have some really good graphics.
Mm-hmm.
But like
Battlefield.
Who said that? Don't sponsor us, EA. You monsters.
You monster frisbees.
You monster frisbees.
Go ahead, Sinan. Sorry.
anyways, but the game is already the story and everything is already there. They're just upping the graphics. Like one of my favorite games of all time, Shadow of the Colossus. They made an HD remix of it, even though it wasn't anything different than the original game. It was still pretty awesome because you could see everything in new, awesome graphics, and also it goes to our audiences because all the people that used to play it and all the kids nowadays. Because sometimes some kids nowadays they
got it
grown
too
up
good
with
with
this
their 700 different Pokemon to choose from.
Yeah, they've grown up with this like 1080p like awesome graphics and stuff when we didn't grow up with our stuff. So if they went back and played like Ruby and Sapphire, they might kind of dislike it.
To play devil's advocate real quick though, HD remakes that flopped, Silent Hill.
Oh, that one was terrible. But I get that you're trying to.
Silent Hill remakes for 1 and 2. It was terrible. It was
actually,
remade
2 and
by
3.
a different company.
It was 2 and 3.
2 and 3.
Yeah.
Well,
3
it was
was my
remade by an
favorite.
entire different company. They were great games at first. They tried remaking it. It just didn't feel right.
It flopped. Further, showing that Americans, when it comes to horror, have no idea what they're doing,
Which is not true.
Which is a later topic. But I get what you're saying, Sinan, and that's an interesting way to look at it. It's introducing a whole new audience to a great game from the past. Like a remake I really enjoyed recently, last year, was the Wind Waker remake on the Wii U. I played that at my buddy's house.
That was a great game.
That was great because the game was still there. It looked nice, but I don't know. In a few years, all games are going to look dated at some point, so I don't really see the point of re-releasing. But using the Wii U pad had the map and everything on it. You could switch items easier, so it took a great game and made it a tad more accessible. Not easier, because that middle part where you have to find all the parts of the Triforce is still ridiculous.
The going around in the boat was so much easier.
Yeah. They just took a great game and just tweaked it to make it better, like that fan remake of Castlevania 2. Just a few little changes, and the game turns out to be really fun. Well, not really fun, but
Thank you,
less
Ego
of a chore.
for your opinion.
Man, let's go. I'm gonna go work on a comic for next year.
Did
also,
you Raptor really hate on like all the Zelda games or something?
He just hated on
Question.
Skyward Sword.
Question: who cares?
I'm not
Except
a fan of
Skyward
Skyward
Sword is
Sword.
terrible.
Yeah.
No,
That game's
I'm
terrible.
going to beg to differ real quick. Skyward Sword is actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
I
I feel like
hated the art style.
I feel like it actually justifies the Wii motion controls.
What is that, I ask? You're getting that?
Yeah. But it became too explanatory. Like you see that and then you do this. There's no like hidden mystery or anything. And all the overworld was destroyed. It was more like every overworld was dungeon-like in the game.
Yeah.
But the point of the...
It was a different game, but it didn't feel like a Zelda game.
The point of the game was to justify the motion controls. We wanted something that felt like one-on-one kind of sword play, and it worked.
Then don't use it with Zelda. Use it with something else.
Nintendo create a new IP, please. But like I liked Skyward Sword. I liked the idea. I liked that they're trying something new with Zelda, because my favorite Zelda is Majora's Mask, and I like that game because they tried something. Mojo Jojo's Mask, because they tried something new with that. Skyward Sword, I'm sorry, I hated all the characters. There was not one like memorable character. They all seemed like jerks. I just didn't get into the world. I didn't like the whole flying system, and I hated those big bug-eyed, big bulbous-nosed characters that were just wandering around. I hated that art design. I hated the stencil look. I was one of those people who defended Wind Waker's graphics, because that was artistic style. Mm-hmm. This just looked kind of pretentious and like artsy, and I just didn't dig that. They should have just made that a brand new game, sort of like what they were going to do with Dinosaur Planet. What a great game that could have been.
Like they could have done, like I don't know, the whole flying aspect to it. I just really didn't like. Like in Wind Waker, they had the whole ocean. There was so much to find, and it was really. But like the flying, it was like limited. You couldn't get all the secrets, and you couldn't fly to all these different random places. It's kind of like a straight point where you had to go, and it just wasn't.
So it felt like a tour instead of a game.
Yeah, it feels like I was like just being carried along the way the whole way through. Like there were some hard puzzles, kind of, but they were kind of.
It's a puzzle to get you to another puzzle.
Yeah.
But like I actually liked the sailing in Wind Waker, because it made you appreciate the world, the experience, and it just made the world feel massive, like you were really on a quest and trekking on a quest. And it wasn't like boring. There were monsters to fight, things to see, new islands to explore.
Oh, treasures.
You could find Sam Jackson's career after that shark ate him.
Now here's my thing. You know what the difference is between...
Close this hatch!
You know what the difference is between Wind Waker and Skyrim was? Fast travel. I appreciate fast travel a lot. I like to explore places, but if the only reason a vast world exists is to
Skyrim?
Yeah, Skyrim, Morrowind.
All right, because like that's so random how you just got from Skyrim.
No, here's my thing. It's a big, expansive world that you can just explore. But if the only purpose of it is for you to walk across it like 10 times, that's just adding gameplay. Oh, gameplay is now 15 hours, but 10 of those hours are walking
later
back
in
and
the game
forth.
of Wind Waker, there is a fast travel system. You get a ability where you can go from like cyclone to cyclone.
Yeah, but it still doesn't help you when you're trying to like everywhere you need to go is in different sides of the map and it's places you haven't.
Well, it's because like. It's the adventure.
It's an adventure.
The game is not really true. The game, it's the journey along the way. Like Skyrim has so many quests and stuff, and it's so huge that
walking from point A to point B just feels more like a chore than an actual game sometimes.
You're playing this game, and it's like an adventure. It's almost like it's time for something, but I can't think of what that thing is. But like, isn't that like part of the game? Isn't the fun of like Pokemon? Like before you get Fly, you learn to really appreciate the world and where to go and stuff. And
no, the point is to battle all the trainers so you can get to the next gym.
Because I want to be the very best, like no one ever was. Anybody want to continue that?
To catch them is my real test. To train them is my cause.
And Meowth, that's right. Wait, what were we doing? The Poke Rap? Gotta catch them all. Gotta catch them all.
All right, so
what
else is there to do today?
Can I jump back to music quickly? I just want to give one shout out. I'm sorry, we're jumping all over because we got topics, but I can't write. So here's, this is kind of sad news, and this is something I actually kind of wanted to bring up because I think this is, those of you listening don't know this, I might be a huge metalhead. Listen to the Hiram Hellhound Tuesdays from 6 to 8.
Stop plugging yourself.
I can't. I'm a plug fanatic. Anyway, you just gave a really sad look over there. Anyway, the bassist for the band Black Tusk sadly passed away. Anybody here listen to Black Tusk? No? That's what I thought. Black Tusk wasn't like a big band. The way I found out about them was on the Adult Swim singles program, which is a great program, and they need to bring that back. But whatever.
I'm tired of being single. I need someone to find a love.
Yeah, no, don't try metalhead dating
singles.
sites. You get some weird people there. Oh, you like Megadeth? Yeah. What else do you listen to? Nothing. Megadeth is life. I love Megadeth. Megadeth is everything.
Yo.
I'm
Settle
sorry.
down.
I'm sorry. I'm reading off my profile page here. Anyway, so the bassist of Black Tusk, Jonathan Athon, died in a motorcycle accident at the tender age of 32. This is very sad and shocked because he wrote most of the songs and was a very good musician and was a metal musician who did not die of drug overdose, which is pretty strange. But I that's sad, but hey, it's kind of true. I mean, look at all the metal musicians who died of drug overdose. The dude from Gwar, the dude from Scary Kids, Scaring Kids, even though they're not really metal. But who's that other one who just died and they think it was drugs? I can't remember, but off the top of my head. But yeah, so he died in a motorcycle accident. But here's the weird thing. This was actually trending top page news on Facebook. So either it was a really slow day, or do people actually care about the lives of, like, actual musicians and not just, like, phony, like, musicians that the music industry seems to pump out? Is that a shot?
That's a shot.
All right. I'm trying to get you children drunk out there, so
All right,
enjoy.
well,
but here's my question. What was my question?
Thanks for spending 10 seconds or 2 seconds of dead air.
Is that better? I just make a blank noise. Anyway, so what do you guys think about musicians that die of drug overdose rather than natural causes? It would it's
a shame.
If every death is a tragic, but would you rather hear about somebody dying from tragedy, like a motorcycle accident, or like a drug overdose? Because I'd
rather hear about no one dying.
Ever. But yeah, I know.
Not ever. Just I don't want to hear about people dying.
I know, but like again, the dude was a good musician, and I want to just pay my respects and just shout that out to him or his family and everyone like that, because I don't know. The motorcycle accident is horrible, but like, I don't know, when you hear of a musician dying of drug overdose or something, which is another topic we'll get into in a second, it kind of, how do I say this, kind of ruins their reputation for a lot of people. And do you guys think that's fair?
Yeah. I think that's very fair.
Really? Because like, here's a great artist, dies of a drug overdose, and then a lot of people are like, oh, this guy was just some scuzzy person who had a drug problem. And that's just what it is. It's a problem that they either didn't address or just let them destroy them.
I'm sorry, but if you're going to let drugs destroy you, that's kind of a stupid thing to let destroy you.
I know. I'm still sorry to hear that drugs are still a rampant problem in the music industry.
I think Matt had an opinion.
And Matt, what was your opinion?
I feel like it's not right that we expect really popular musicians to die of drug overdoses.
I don't expect them to die of drug overdoses.
No, but like we kind of like reward them for that. So, if a musician dies of a drug overdose, we kind of are like we kind of at the beginning are kind of against them, and then eventually it comes to light that maybe this was a good thing because now we're showing our kids, hey, this person was on drugs and see what happened to him. He was famous and he lost it all.
That's kind of sad. That's kind of like an example. Like, because, I mean, there are so many... I think in the grand scheme of things, like rap and pop, and the more of them die of, like, drug overdose, like Whitney Houston and Amy Winehouse.
Whitney Houston, we have a problem.
Whitney Houston, we have an issue. You're dead. Anyway, whoa, that was a bit tough. But there are so many, metal musicians who, go unnamed and unknown who die in... Just like one of my personal heroes, Chuck Schuldiner, who just died of cancer, and
where?
Yes, but there are some.
Schuldiner.
I made you say shoe in there, but there, that's really sad. But he never made front page news or anything like that. So I just thought it was very peculiar to see a bassist of a band who wasn't that big, that you don't read about on tabloids or anything, still making news and not. Like, would it be different if he was, like, a pop musician? Like, I absolutely think so.
I was just going to ask, how many times do you actually see
Britney Spears dies of
anyone
drug
that
overdose.
isn't in the pop, rap, or country genres. If they're not in those three genres, how many times do you actually hear about them in the tabloids in the first place, though?
Rock and roll.
Exactly. Well, yeah, a little bit of rock and roll, but especially music that's kind of more complicated and more of a pariah to most American tastes, like metal. You don't really see anymore because everybody just expects them to be.
I'm sorry, it's 2014. Why do we still care about country music?
Can you even call it country music to this point?
I'm sipping on my red beer and my tractor.
It's kind of evolving into country pop, which I'm not a fan of.
Oh,
it's just repetitive. It's the same topics over and over.
Do you guys have an opinion? Well, guess what? I'm going to plug this in now. The WaffleO Facebook page is finally up and running. It took me a little while to get it all set up, but if you go to facebook.com/WaffleO Podcast, you will find our page on top of a couple other things. If you have any opinions, topics, or he's the kind of guy things that you would like to tell us, post it on the Facebook wall and we'll look at it and we'll talk about it, give you our takes of it, and we might even actually do stuff on the actual page that might just be an exclusive there. I don't know yet. But yeah, just facebook.com/WaffleO Podcast. Give it a look, like it, What's the harm?
Okay, I'm going to have to unplug you there. But yeah.
Coming from you. I'm plugging us, not just Hiram Hellhound.
Listen to it. It's a good show. And I tried to get that recorded this week, but there were problems. Anyway, so yes, bassist of metal band dies, made front page on Facebook. That's interesting. I'm sorry about that, and I hope that someday. I'm glad to hear that there are still some metal musicians who get recognition for more than just drugs. So.
Anyone else have anything they want to bring to the table?
About drugs, death, and rock and roll.
Anything else?
Denver the Last Dinosaur died of a heroin overdose. That was pretty upsetting. They found him in a hotel room.
That's really not even anything that happened.
That's pretty. I'm pretty sure that's true. I read that on Cracked.
So how's everybody doing today?
He was going bald.
Let's just kind of kick back and talk. We're kind of really strapped for people today, and we asked someone last minute, another guy who's just like...
I'll give you a hint. It was me, Dio.
Matt, thank you again for doing this so last minute. We were getting ready to do the podcast. Tyler was supposed to be here, and we kind of showed up late. That's no big deal, but he's the kind of guy that needs to be doing something all the time.
He's the kind of guy who needs to be doing something all the time.
Shut up. And we kind of just called Matt last minute, so if this is really his first time really doing anything like this, and we really appreciate you for stopping by and helping us.
Hey, I'm actually really grateful. I've wanted to start a podcast and be in a podcast for a long time, and now that I actually am in one, it's actually one thing off my bucket list, I guess, to do.
Now I'm actually in a podcast. It's actually quite terrifying.
Now I've learned just how much of a mistake I've made.
This is what I aimed for. I'm staring at an Audacity screen and watching my voice bubbles go up and down, and down with every breath I lose.
I feel like I'd rather do a podcast than be one of the talkers on YouTube where they just kind of stand there looking at the camera.
Wow, face
talking.
Oh, vlog.
It's so boring.
It's me, yeah. Jenna Marbles.
Because it's just you and only you, and you got to be entertaining on your own. Which, it's not that hard to do, but it's easier with other people.
I just go, like that video I did of me yelling about how you fricks ruined the Sonic franchise.
God damn it.
You fricks!
Stop it.
You fricks!
No, we're not doing that.
Speaking of Sonic, we can talk about the great game. Sonic Boom.
Cena, why don't you take the reins on this one? Go ahead.
Actually, Alistair knows a lot about Sonic Boom.
I am. Alistair didn't take the reins on this one.
Hey, what? I'm a big fan of Sonic. I love Speedy the Porky
Sanic
Hog.
Better, though.
I like Sanic. What are you supposed to be? I'm a hedgehog. Hedgehog. Hedgehogs can't talk. Oh, but can they dance?
God damn it. So here's the deal. Sonic Boom. It's kind of Sonic Team's last chance. Sega's kind of really grasping for straws, and they really need this game to do well. It's I'd give it a 5 out of 10. There's nothing good or bad about it.
There's a lot of things bad.
There's a lot of things bad.
Well, no, here's my thing. Yes, it's very glitchy. Yes, there's very bad jokes, but the gameplay itself it's fairly tight. Question mark.
All right. How much?
Question
How much of
mark.
this
I
did
will-
you actually play, Mike?
I-
I've
Besides
played
the question
all
mark
of
there.
5 minutes, got sick of it, and realized I don't like Sonic games.
All right.
And then I put in Mario and was happy again.
I gave it 5 minutes, and I gave it 1 score out of every minute.
So here's the dealio. Sonic Boom is kind of like... It's trying its hardest to be funny. It really is. It's got like these semi-witty things with just unlikable characters. They've changed some things around.
Knuckles looks like a meathead.
What are you
now.
talking
Knuckles
about?
is a meathead now.
Sonic sounds like a cast member from Friends. Whoa, Tails, that's pretty radical. Instead of, yeah, did I do that? Jaleel White,
Good
all
old
up
Steve
in here.
Urkel is Sonic.
He was. That's no good, says Sonic. Sonic saw Sonic Boom. He looked at the camera and goes, that's no good. Take a shot. No, that's Sonic talking. Don't take a shot for
No,
Sonic.
take a shot. It was still Alistair.
Hey, if you're listening to a podcast about Sonic, you're not old enough to drink. Go drink apple juice.
Matt, what do you think on Sonic Boom?
Did
I
you
feel like
play it?
it's just another. I haven't played it, but from what I've seen from it, it kind of looks like a lot of other Nintendo-owned-ish games that they're trying to put out right now. So you have these teams of large teams that kind of go at
It's a
something that isn't related to the original story or even one of the timelines.
It's a product
that
no one
goes
really
back to
cares
Zelda.
about anymore.
Well,
It's sad because it used to be Sonic used to be on par with Mario, and then
You know what?
Right.
You know
Now
what they're
they're-
doing now, though. They're taking down and kind of reporting people who put up negative reviews of the game.
that's where the real controversy lies. There has been a review embargo on Sonic Boom. Sega and Sonic Team didn't send out review copies to all the major publishers, that is a bad sign right there. That means they have very little faith in that. And
Please don't rate our game.
Please don't rate our game. I know we made it in very little time, which they did, but they're also sending out cease and desist notices to anybody who puts a bad review. Not any review, but a bad
what's
review.
the cease and desist notice?
That just
Stop.
means stop slandering our company, even though they're
Stopper will
not
sue-
slandering.
Stopper will have our lawyer on speed dial.
My lawyer's on speed dial this moment. Beep, beep, beep. Hello? Dr. Robotnik? I'd like to sue. Excellent! Ah, ha, ha. Dee, 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 dee. Anyway,
I almost love/hate when you go on those little tangents.
I don't know what I'm talking about here. I just drank some coffee. Now I'm feeling... Anyway, no, that was me thinking about Sonic. But yeah, so that's all going on. The whole review embargo, that's no good. That is no good. But think about... I was watching Game Grumps play it the other day. Please sponsor us, Game Grumps. I'm sorry about all the bad things I said about Ego Raptor. And I'm not sorry about those. I like Danny, though. Danny's my bud. Anyway,
Danny's my bud. Like, he knows you personally.
Hey.
Maybe one
I don't
day.
want your
I
girlfriend.
met him on Skype. Well, actually, it was a live stream, and he just shouted out my name. I'm like, yay!
Really that.
Yeah, that was on a Twitch feed.
Was that the Starbomb AMA
No, this was they were just doing a live feed. And
for Game Grumps?
yeah,
That's
they were
pretty
just
cool.
playing that. So that was I got recognized by a self-proclaimed internet star.
Did you tell them to shout out your name, or why did they shout out your name?
They said anorexic fat kid. That's a cool name.
Oh,
Oh, I think I saw that on the YouTube video. I
That's
was wondering who that was.
me.
I don't-
That's
I don't believe you.
That's my horse. Anyway,
Anorexic fat kid. I'm gonna go listen to that now.
that's
Was that the 2014 one?
I actually don't. This was a while ago. Back when I still. This was no. How long has Danny been on? Because this was
Over a year.
Yeah, this was maybe earlier when Danny was coming in. Because this is
So the 2013 one.
it was late 2013, I think.
Okay.
Anyway, so I was watching Game Grumps, and they were talking about how the concept for Sonic Boom came out earlier this year. And then a game comes out, and they kept making jokes like, "Sir, we have the concept designs for the new Sonic." Oh, the game's already out. So, I mean, and that reminded me of the famous, and Sinon here will know what I'm talking about, the famous game E.T. for the Atari 2600.
I think
Good,
everyone
nice.
knows what that game is.
I'm not saying Sonic Boom's as bad as E.T. is. I'm saying that E.T.'s better than Sonic Boom.
I don't believe
But
No, I don't agree.
it's where the developers really didn't have time because Sega made it very clear they just wanted to get this game out before Christmas. I mean, that's what E.T. did. The E.T., I believe when it came out maybe summer or August the year it was released, 84, I think.
Something like that.
And
Yeah.
no, 83, 82. I'm very bad
Doesn't
with
matter what
dating
the
movies.
date was. It
Anyway, so
really
that
doesn't.
came out, And the developers for the E.T. game said, we want this game out by Christmas, which anybody who knows anything about programming knows is ridiculous to ask. So they gave it to one guy, and we were talking about at Code Monkeys episode last night, where there's like, I didn't even see the movie. It's, so they just gave it to one guy to work on it for like a few weeks, and then sold it for full retail price, which in today's money would have been like...
It's guys that bought the Teen Titans Go rights, and it's, oh, yeah, we didn't even see the original show, but we'll do the remake of it.
Let's do the remake and make it like the worst annoying thing on TV.
Well,
just take a shot.
It's honestly... Teen Titans Go actually references the old one, the original show, multiple times, and they're just trying to parody and kind of childize.
They're doing a very terrible job.
They're doing a pretty bad job of that. Yeah. If I wanted to see a parody, I'd just watch the new Justice League. I don't know anything
there's another
about
one?
That. I don't know. I don't care about superheroes.
Justice League?
Oh my god, really?
Oh, man.
I don't think so.
My favorite superhero was Zaboomafoo, but now he's gone.
Oh.
He's up in lemur heaven, eating bananas out of the cubby holes of God.
So is he sentient in heaven, or is he just a normal lemur?
I don't know. He seems to have.
What are you saying?
He seems to have the ability to turn sentient out of nowhere. So yeah, Zaboomafoo. Zaboomafoo's gonna be in the new Sonic game.
Do you think they could have just got a different lemur and then let nobody know about it? Would anyone really be able to pick that up except like extreme lemur enthusiasts?
To a certain extent, I feel like each
lemur enthusiast. What?
Each lemur has like a...
I know, right?
I don't know this for a fact, but it seems like each lemur would have like a different pattern to some extent. So a person who is like
I've
one of
watched
those people that like
for 20 years. Let me tell you why this Zaboomafoo is not the same Zaboomafoo from last month.
They went through like
he didn't hop 3 times before eating his meal.
He comes in. Welcome our new guest, Zablamafoo. Chris, why is he eating your face off?
You know, they could have pulled like the Steve and Chris from Blue's Clues. Oh yeah, no, he just went to college.
Yeah, sure, he went to college.
It wasn't a drug overdose. He's going to college.
That's not him twitching in the background behind the big comfy chair. I'll just move this over.
I think it was called the big comfy couch. That was a different show.
There were a lot of bodies under that couch.
I don't know if it was a drug overdose, but it was something like really bad that they did not want making public.
So what they say, like just
he went to college. That's all they said.
Oh wow.
Okay, bye guys. I'm off to college.
All right, Tyler, settle down.
No, but in closing, Zaboomafoo confirmed for Sonic Boom. It's going to be called Sonic Zaboomafoo.
Sonic Zaboom.
Sonic Zaboom.
All right. So this is now our 3rd podcast, second one that's going to go up on the internet. We're still debating whether or not we want to put the incomplete audio file up on
We're still
first one.
Debating how bad this really is.
Well, no, it's not even that. Friends. It's just incomplete. It's 45 minutes of an hour-long podcast. And what we like to do is we like to have this segment at the end of every podcast called He's the Kind of Guy. We all know that kind of guy, and we're going to introduce him every week until it's like a common enough thing.
You know that kind of guy. I'm that kind of guy.
He's just this disturbing person that like you look at in like the bus stop bathroom, and it's like, I don't want to know you.
He's the guy going through the garbage in the bus stop bathroom.
Wait, so, there's bathrooms in bus stops now?
I don't know. I'm thinking like train station, but I said bus stop.
Train station.
You know, it's like that one bench, and there's like a porta potty next to it.
A 3.
Yeah.
And that guy's just like sniffing it.
The guy in a corner.
So we're each gonna go around. We're gonna do 2. This is gonna be a really like bad one. Just read the first one that comes to your face. Alistair, you can start us up.
I can't read it. It's in my face.
Get the paper out of your face.
Hey. Okay, he's the kind of guy that, if given the chance, the Oompa Loompas wouldn't sing for. He's the guy who he just goes through the chocolate aisle, grabs all the bars he can, and just opens them and leaves without paying with the golden ticket. Goes there, and like he doesn't even get a song. Willy Wonka's just like, "Get out, you're gross." He keeps licking
you're gross.
He keeps licking the schnozberries on the wall.
The schnozberries
taste like schnozberries.
Why do I know what that tastes like?
Wow, this tastes like this tastes like my grandpa's schnozberry. Just like Grandpa used to make.
He's the kind of guy who thinks farts sound better in his head.
He's the guy who kind of meditates on that. And that's where our podcast is going, fart jokes.
Alright, to be fair, this is the first one I saw and I read it.
I saw that.
Any comments?
You were there looking at it for a while. You were just sort of focusing on it.
He's the kind of guy to complain about the smell in a Mexican restaurant.
He's the kind of guy who goes to the kitchen and goes, "There sure are a lot of foreigners in here." Yeah.
Can I see all of your green cards?
I got my lawyer on speed dial. Oh, that's weird. Someone just texted me.
No, put it down.
That's my ringtone.
Stop.
He's the kind of guy, I don't know, who gets the washing machine pregnant.
Yeah. Mom, the washing machine's pregnant again.
Mom, my sheets are crusty again. Put them in the washing machine. It won't let me do that since the child.
It looks just like me.
Just flatter.
Just flat.
God
He's
damn
the kind of guy who hands me a piece of paper.
Nature, finds a way.
Nature, finds a way.
I think we actually did that one for our first podcast. What are the odds?
He's the kind of guy who would write Sonic fan fiction and then complain about it when people don't like it or aren't intently interested in it.
I don't think that's on the paper, so I think you just made that
He's
up.
one of those guys who would read his Sonic fan fiction at the Thanksgiving dinner table, and when his mom tells him to put it away, he calls his mom an oppressive. Why do you hate my Sonic avatar? His name's Quickie the Porcupine.
The Porcupine.
And he's orange instead of blue. Jeez, Mom. And then the dad's at the other end of the table just shaking his head, and the grandpa's face down in the stuffing. Because nobody noticed because they were too upset about their kid.
What?
Zaboomafoo.
He's the kind of thinks that oh wow. He's the kind of guy who thinks whisking an egg is foreplay.
He's the kind of guy who can't read a piece of paper.
He's the kind of guy who doesn't have a first grade education.
He's the kind of guy whisking an egg is foreplay. Honey, can you just stir this pot?
Can you start making the cake? Yeah. Oh yeah, you like that.
He just starts.
You like that, you dirty egg. Yeah, you like that.
Okay.
Is that weird? I think that was really weird.
He's the kind of guy who gets the restraining order from chickens. Don't come near my eggs.
Restraining order at an anime convention.
Go to the ball pit, you lolicon.
God, that's gross. I know what that is, and that's gross.
Nobody knows what that is.
Don't look that up.
And look it up. I dare you.
Don't. Go for it.
He's the kind of guy that would trade Pokemon with himself.
Okay, to be fair, I'm pulling a mic here.
Sometimes all you can have is red and blue, and you have two Game Boys.
I'm pulling a mic here. To be fair, I actually did that. I had my sister's Game Boy, and I had her copy of Blue, and I just restarted it and just all that stuff because she didn't play it. All three starters are mine, and that made me feel like the world's biggest hacksaw. I wore my Guy Fawkes mask in pride.
I tried doing that, but I had a bad Blue copy, and it wouldn't let me do it because it couldn't save the game. So
I used to walk around the playground with all my swagger, just being like, "Yeah, guess who has all three starters?" People like, "How'd you do that?" And I'd be like, "I'd never tell." And then Game Genie, and now the internet, and
then
now
Game Shark.
Game Shark.
That was a thing.
That was a thing too. Why would they jump from Game Genie to Game Shark? Did the genie wish he was a shark? Sharks are pretty rad, but genies are pretty cool too, like the Akinator. We've been playing that a lot too.
Matt, go for it.
Is your character a human?
Stop it.
Is he blue? Like, is your character Sonic? Gotta go fast.
He's the kind of guy that sues his karate instructor for assault.
He hit me! Here, let me call up my lawyer. Beep, beep, beep.
Why does your lawyer only have 3 digits to his phone number?
Speed dial.
I made him
Speed
up.
dial.
I made him up. Stop!
I don't really have a lawyer. He told me to stop calling here.
Stop calling me!
No, I won't go to prom with you!
I'm going to call my second lawyer on my first lawyer.
Oh, here's another good one. He's the kind of guy who thinks E.T. is the best video game ever.
That is true. He's the kind of guy who would not touch fingers with E.T. I don't know where I was going. I was actually going somewhere very dark, but Mike just shook his head at me.
Yeah, I really did. Alright, so, once again, thank you for listening, everybody.
We got 10 minutes. Let's talk about sports.
Nah, let's just kind of let things wrap up.
Can we be like Oasis and just talk about the weather?
Well, the weather's cold.
Oh, the weather outside.
Actually, it's heating up enough so the
Yeah,
snow's
the
melting.
sun. Yeah.
It's smelting. What is it
It's
making?
You don't want to end about talking about weather. That's
Well, no. Once
and,
again, I'd like to kind of get the WaffleO Facebook page out there. Please just go like it on Facebook. We're going to be putting every single podcast that we have onto that in the future. It's also going to go on my Facebook page as well as my Twitter, and it'll be on my YouTube channel, youtube.com/bullet1909.
Or Bulletone. One.
Yeah, BULLETONE 909.
Go subscribe. It's fun. He
I mean,
plays
I won't
Pokemon.
make you. But here's the thing. The podcast will be there. It will be available. It will be totally awesome if you watch it. Just try and support us if you can't listen to us live. So, thank you very much for listening, and, have a great day.
Let's have a roundabout for who's here.
So once again.
I'm Mike.
No, I'm Mike.
What? Since when?
Who am I?
I'm Alistair. I'm part of this complete breakfast.
I'm Sinan.
Are
And
you? I'm gonna object to that. Objection!
Yeah, I'm just a Turkish spy.
He's a Turkish spy.
Are you a chicken?
Yeah.
And who's that? Gobble gobble. He takes off his mask. Chicken the whole time. Okay, and who's the guy with the mood ring over there?
And I'm Matt.
Hey, what's up?
And I'm your host, Mike. So thanks for listening to the WaffleO Podcast, and have a great day.
I'm the one bullet.